Hello friends, so welcome back to the channel with another video. And today I'm going to talk about, rather you guys would have already known by the title now that आज हम लोग बात करने वाले हैं the ownership experience of the new 2021 Himalayan. Today's vlog is going to be a bit raw, so I'm not going to edit much on this so that you know क्योंकि एडिट करके फ़ायदा नहीं है. वॉट एवर आई फील अबाउट दिस बाइक आई एम गोइंग टू टेल इट राइट अवे ऑन दिस व्लॉग. तो कुछ ज़्यादा एडिट करने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. सो आई बॉट दिस बाइक इन द मंथ ऑफ फेब्रुअरी, और अभी जब मैं आप लोगों से के साथ बात कर रहा हूँ तो दिस इज़ द मंथ ऑफ अगस्त. तो ऑलमोस्ट 6 महीने से ऊपर हो चुके हैं. नॉट 6 महीने, 4-5 महीने तो हो ही गया होगा. फरवरी, मार्च, अप्रैल, मई, जून, जुलाई, अगस्त, या 6 महीना. तो 6 महीना मेरा बाइक का हो चुका है और अभी तक थैंक्स टू लॉकडाउन अभी तक इसमें सिर्फ 1500 किलोमीटर ही मैं कर पाया हूँ. ठीक है ना. एंड आई हैव डन ओनली वन सर्विस सो फार. द फर्स्ट फ्री सर्विस ओनली आई हैव डन. द नेक्स्ट फ्री सर्विस के लिए आई एम गेटिंग कॉल्स नाउ, बट या प्रॉब्ली वो भी मेरे को करवाना पड़ेगा. तो खैर, so this has been the history of this. So today is 14th of August, 13th of August, और अभी वीकेंड पे मैं सोचा कि यार एक छोटा सा राइड कर लिया जाए. नॉट राइड, आई वुड से रादर छोटी सी ब्लॉग बना ली जाए एंड आई कैन शेयर द एक्सपीरियंस. सो देयर आर 2 reasons why I came out. One is this microphone that I had to change. So the earlier microphone that I was using वो था Mauno AU400. Now I have switched back to a much cheaper version of lavalier microphone, but the problem with Mauno, right, that was a omnidirectional microphone. When I say omnidirectional, तो वो क्या है, वो हर जगह से आपका noise capture करता है. But whereas ये वाला, this one is actually an unidirectional microphone. What it means is basically it will capture the sound from the nearest source. जैसे कि मेरे मुंह के सामने अभी ये माइक है, तो मैं जो बोलूँगा दैट विल गेट हाईलाइटेड ओवर द बैकग्राउंड नॉइज़, या फिर जो रोड नॉइज़ वगैरह है उसके ऊपर ये काइंड ऑफ इट विल बी मोर हाईलाइटेड. सो दैट्स द रीज़न. तो वो एक बार चेक कर लेंगे. ऑडियो क्वालिटी के बारे में आप लोग बताओ, कैसे कमेंट करके कैसा लग रहा है अभी, क्योंकि लास्ट टाइम वाला जो मैंने वीडियो डाला था on the audio test, I was myself not happy with the audio quality. So khair, so what we will do, we will take a U-turn and we'll join the highway, और highway पे शांति से बात करेंगे. ठीक है. Okay friends, so we are back on the highway. तो as I was telling you, okay, I got this bike sometime during February, और and I अभी मुश्किल से because of this lockdown and all, right, so मुश्किल से about 1523 किलोमीटर ही चला पाया हूँ इस बाइक में. तो कुछ ज़्यादा एक्सटेंसिवली मैंने यूज़ नहीं किया है. मोस्ट ऑफ द रन्स हैज़ बीन ऑन अ हाईवे. आई हैव नॉट गॉन विद दिस टू एनी हिल्स और हिली डेस्टिनेशन, और मैं उसके बारे में अभी बात नहीं करूँगा. So my ownership experience with this bike, right, has been predominantly on the city traffic and like this weekend few trips which I have done, but these are all on the flat highways like this. So let's start from the beginning. What all has changed in this bike, right? So the visible difference, obviously this tripper navigation has come and all, and it's quite effective. I won't deny that fact. Okay. कभी कभार जब आप लोगों को ज़रूरत रियली पड़ती है, और यहाँ पे जैसे देखो मेरा मोबाइल माउंट वगैरह है नहीं, तो उस टाइम पे ये आप मोबाइल को इसके साथ कनेक्ट कर लो, डेस्टिनेशन सेलेक्ट करो, स्टार्ट नेविगेट, एंड देन यू पुट योर मोबाइल इन योर पॉकेट एंड दिस विल गिव यू टर्न बाय टर्न नेविगेशन. सो इन अ वे इट इज़ क्वाइट एक्यूरेट. आई वोंट ब्लेम दिस सिस्टम. इसका जो भी लिमिटेशंस है, बेस्ड ऑन आई मीन विद इन दैट डिफाइंड लिमिट्स, राइट, इट डज द जॉब. राइट, इट गेट्स द जॉब डन. सो कुछ फैंसी एक्सपेक्ट मत करो, हाँ ये होगा वो होगा, वॉइस नेविगेशन एंड ऑल दैट. एनीवेज इफ यू हैव ब्लूटूथ हेडफोन कनेक्टेड, राइट, या फिर इंटरकॉम वगैरह आपके साथ फ़ोन के साथ पेयर्ड है तो वॉइस नेविगेशन आपको वहाँ से मिल जाएगी. बट दिस डिस्प्ले विल एक्चुअली शो यू ओनली टर्न बाय टर्न नेविगेशंस. ठीक है ना. So that's the good part. The other part of the instrument cluster that remains unchanged except for the fact that यहाँ पे एक ABS का बटन दिया गया है आप लोगों को. So that's also a change. So this bike comes with a switchable ABS. Okay. So that's a good part. And I don't think apart from that, yeah, windshield, because of this change in cluster design and all, right, they had to obviously do certain modifications here and here in the windshield. So they have taken this opportunity to make this windshield a bit large in the sense a bit tall, okay, or they have made it tinted. So that's the visible difference. और ये जो rails है right यहाँ पे, so these are actually redesigned to accommodate taller riders. So that was also a feedback driven thing. Even the side stand side stand, right, that also has been shortened, but I don't think that's a new addition here. I think the outgoing BS6 model also has that. Okay. So these are the real aesthetic changes, and apart from that there are a few other things which I will talk as and when I progress with the video, right. So the biggest difference here, right, so Himalayan was actually known for its rideability, its agileness, right. जैसे कि आप लोगों को इट्स काइंड ऑफ अ गो एनीवेयर बाइक. ऐसे हाईवे पे भी क्रूज कर सकते हो आराम से, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं आने वाली है. और आप लोग इसको ऑफ रोडिंग भी कर सकते हो इसके साथ. तो इट्स लाइक इन दैट सेंस इट्स लाइक क्वाइट अ केपेबल बाइक, राइट. तो दोज ऑल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ द बाइक, राइट, द थॉट प्रोसेस बिहाइंड डिजाइनिंग दिस बाइक और कमिंग अप विद दिस बाइक इज एक्चुअली रिटेन. तो वो सारे चीज़ में आपको कोई कमी नहीं आएगी. तो इट इज स्टिल अ वेरी केपेबल मोटरसाइकिल व्हेन इट कम्स टू ऑफ रोडिंग, a very capable motorcycle when it comes to, for example, highway touring. So that's one. And also it is like a go anywhere kind of a themed motorcycle, right. So that lives up to the expectation, so no complaints on that. Coming to the engine, so the engine, the specs, the figures, facts, figures, everything, like that is actually retained. So there is no change in that. It's still the same 411 cc motor, single cylinder, air oil cooled, right. It's kind of a, I won't say it's a liquid cooled, it's a air oil cooled engine. It churns out about 24 bhp of power. Might not sound to be that much, but the good part is in this segment this has got the maximum torque figure, right. So that is at 32 newton meters, okay. और ये सारे जो भी टॉर्क फिगर्स के बारे में बात कर रहा हूँ, इट कम्स वेरी लो इन द रेव रेंज, एंड दैट्स व्हाई दिस बाइक इज वेरी केपेबल व्हेन यू आर काइंड ऑफ ऑफ रोड और इफ यू आर क्लाइंबिंग अप ऑन द हिल्स. So that is on the motor side. So you can see the motor is refined. It has gone. The refinement has actually leveled itself up, right? I won't say it has gone like leaps and bounds from the previous model, but yeah, compared to the previous model, this is actually a much more refined engine. So power delivery is quite linear. It doesn't have that intimidating power. जैसे कि आप लोग, if you're like you know coming from a 200cc, 100cc or 150cc motorcycle, right, and coming jumping directly onto the Himalayan, right, what you will feel that you know there is a change in the position, the way you sit, the ergonomics changes, it will be there, but the power is not that intimidating. That will kind of you know scare your shit out, right. So that will not happen. So in that sense it is a much upgrade friendly bike if you're coming from a very lower or a lower displacement category of motorcycles, right. So that way, in that sense, it is a very good kind of offer from Royal Enfield. The tank, it remains same. It's the same 15 liter tank, and I don't know, I have not tested about the mileage on the but what I've noticed is that from a full tank, the trip F for me, if I ride on a very decent pace, right, which I am a decent rider, okay, so the trip F starts in about 285-290 kilometers. So I don't know what that trip F start signifies, but I have always filled it up immediately as soon as the trip F starts. So just on a caution note, you are not supposed to ride a fuel injected motor, right. So with a very low fuel level. So that's a you know a piece of advice which I follow, and I would recommend you guys also to do that. Now third part, right, which has changed from the outgoing model is the seat. The seat width is same, but it is now coming with a very high density foam. So that was also a feedback driven thing. So earlier what used to happen, the seat was very soft, and during long journeys the seat will kind of compress, and your butt will actually touch the chassis, okay, the rod, and that used to be a very painful affair for many riders. So that was again kind of a feedback driven thing, but I wish they would have taken this opportunity to kind of do something to the seat so that it would have been a bit wider. So, and the high density foam, right, has been added both to the rider as well as the pillion seat. I don't think there is a change in dimension though. If your pillion was comfortable earlier, he or she should be more comfortable, or rather equally comfortable now also. So I don't see a challenge there. So that way the seat is good. So no issues in that. We talked about this one. So these are all the positive points, right? The tire specifications, the wheel specifications, everything remains same. Switchable ABS, you can do it only when the bike is at standstill, and you cannot change it on the fly. That's good part actually. You have to put the bike to a halt, press this switch for about 5 seconds, count it 1 2 3 4 5, and then you will see the ABS light starts blinking, which means the ABS has been disconnected. So that's the switchable ABS, but it can do that only to one wheel, and that is the rear wheel. You cannot turn off ABS on your front wheel, which is again a safety aspect that Royal Enfield has provided, or rather any motorcycle with a dual channel ABS, right, should provide. So that's again a good part of this bike. The cruisability factor, right? So the comfortable cruising speed on this motorcycle should be somewhere between 85 to 90 kmph. Okay, basically I'm talking about an RPM range of 3000 to 4000 RPM. So that's what should be the cruising speed, or cruising RPM should be. It is butter smooth in that range, right? So these are the good parts of this bike. Now let's come to a few of the negative parts of this. So first thing first, I don't like these mirrors at all. Okay, these mirrors are not like conventional round mirrors, right? So convex mirrors, so they give a limited field of vision. And also I won't complain much about the vibration here at this pace. I'm cruising out of 60 kilometers per hour. There is no vibration as such, but this mirror doesn't give you a very good visibility. So this could have been taken care of by Royal Enfield. Since you're redesigning so many things, why not redesign a mirror? I don't understand. Okay, that's one. The second part, the visible aspect, this cluster, this gets fogged up. This one and this, so far what I've seen, this one get fogged up. It is still fogging up now at this bottom end, right? And this compass end, right? So wherever you see the most LED exposure, right, this back display exposure, which is predominantly here and here, those two parts are getting fogged up. I'm not seeing this here, I'm not seeing this here, nowhere else it fogs up, only these two sections. Probably, I don't know what needs to be done. I need to go back at the service center and check that. That's one. The next big problem is the riding aspect of this one, right? So I have highlighted in one of my previous videos, वो link आपका इधर I button में आ रहा होगा, देख लो. So there are considerable power lag issues if you are, let's say for example, let me show you. So let me just put it on a stall, or rather standstill. So I am at 0 kilometers per hour. Now let me give a gentle push to the throttle. Okay, only this much, and you can see there is a bike. You can feel that, right? You see that? So that, right, you see there is a bit of judderiness. There is a hesitance from the bike to move forward if the throttle is held at this position. Now that's a problem. So what I feel, right, if you just twist it a bit more, right, change the gears at 3000 RPM, you won't feel this problem at all. The reason behind that is a change in this bike that has actually introduced this. So the ECU of this bike is like changed. So earlier there was a separate unit for throttle position, throttle body, and the ECU, but now it has been combined into a single unit. So what the flexibility of that is that you can do one touch update. Okay, if there is a update coming in from Royal Enfield immediately, it is just a matter of updating one interface and everything is taken care. But the downside is that if you want to do anything manually, adjust manually anything, that is gone, right? Earlier you could have adjusted your throttle, idling position, the throttle position sensor itself, right, manually, but now that is not there at all. So that's the downside of this. So Royal Enfield claims that they will fix it sometime with an issue update. Let's see, we have to wait for that. The other aspect is that this issue is not only coming in your second gear, first gear, it is coming across all the gears. Provided you are somewhere between 2500 to 2700 RPM, this issue will come. The third issue, which lot many people are complaining, lot many owners are complaining, I have not faced this so far, is the stalling problem, right? I haven't faced the stalling problem yet, but what they say is that there is a problem in this ECU relay. Okay, now I will get that checked up and then I'll give you a feedback, okay, how this is all about. Does that really solve it or not? So that's something needs to be checked. So वो मैं एक बार सर्विस सेंटर में अभी जाऊंगा, जाने के बाद I will be probably updating you guys in the next vlog. Okay, apart from that I have fitted the panniers and all, everything looks fantastic. Okay, it's quite a practical bike. Luggage पे तो whatever Himalayan was earlier, right, so it is still the same. The tail rack has been redesigned, it has been shortened a bit just to accommodate your top box and all, everything within the wheelbase of the bike. Earlier it was actually hanging outside the wheelbase, right? That was a pain, that should not happen. So Royal Enfield has taken that also. That's kind of a feedback driven stuff. So I have not put a top box and I'm not planning to put that either, but yeah, so that will kind of give a little bit of extra extra confidence, so that your top rack doesn't fall off, okay, the chassis doesn't break. So these were the complaints earlier, and I don't find any visible changes here. Rather, Royal Enfield has not talked about whatever is the problem. I went there and they told about this ECU change and all. Okay, I feel there is either a problem, this bike can do much better in terms of electronics. Rather, all Royal Enfields can do much better in terms of electronics. They are not good at that. They have engineered the chassis, they have engineered the suspension, rideability aspect, everything very well, but they have not looked into the basics, which is like the feeling of the bike, right? That is inconsistent across RPMs. You can see, right, I am at 3000 RPM. If you hold the throttle, you will still feel that the bike is giving some bit of resistance to kind of pick up pace. So that's a bit of a bummer for me. Okay, I'm paying with all the accessories and all, it will come up to about close to 3 lakhs on road, right? So that's not a cheap bike anymore. Okay, and with an expensive bike like this, you expect a bit of quality. So anyways, with that said, guys, so that's it for this vlog. I will catch up with you guys on the next vlog. If you have liked this video, please do consider hitting the like button, और अभी चैनल पे अगर आप नए हो, प्लीज़ सब्सक्राइब कर लो यार, दोस्त को थोड़ी मोटिवेशन मिल जाएगी, and I will be able to make much more better videos in future. So until next time, see you guys on the road. Bye bye.